We don't have any interpreters, right?
The Spanish interpreter is on the line, Your Honor.
Yeah, I don't see any Spanish speakers, so we'll just confirm from the jail
Thank you.
as soon as I can get. Hi, jail. Anyone there?
Good morning, Your Honor. How are you?
There's that voice. Good morning. I'm good, thank you.
Good morning.
No,
Ready for
I am
ready for our list today?
ready for the list today. No Spanish speakers, right? So we can excuse the Spanish interpreter.
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay.
And then, if I may,
Yes.
Mr. Kolsonic,
Yes.
he is currently not in the facility.
Okay.
And then I'm not sure if you know Mr. Raymond Davis.
Yes.
He doesn't speak. They have him categorized as being mute. He understands, at least when we talk to him. So when it comes to giving you a name and that kind of communication, I don't know how well that's going to go, Your Honor.
Well, I'll just have to ask him. And is he, when you guys are communicating with him, does he nod or give you some kind of response that he understands?
He nods, yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, we'll try that and see what we can do. Thank you.
That sounds good. I'm going to get Mr. Antinez and put him on the chair.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, may the interpreter be excused?
Yes. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too. Interpreter will now disconnect.
Hi, tell me your name. Jail, you're muted.
Sorry, Your Honor, we were muted.
Thank you. Hi, sir. Tell me your name.
Ricardo, Cordova, Antinez.
Mr. Nc, for matters out of South Tucson City Court, you have 21 warrants out of that court that haven't been addressed. This is the time for your initial appearance on all of those warrants. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. They appear to be mostly, if not all, theft charges. I am going to appoint Michael Vaughn to represent you today. We're going to talk about your conditions of release. I am going to impose a bond of $2,000 cash. If you do post the $2,000 cash bond, then you would be released. If you get released, you're not to have any contact with the victims or return to any of the incident locations involved. Do you understand those conditions of release today?
Yes.
Your next court date will be tomorrow, September 26th at 10 a.m. That will be a video appearance in front of a South Tucson City Court judge. So much like you're doing here today, you'll see someone from South Tucson about how you might be able to resolve all of these warrants. If you do get released, you're going to have to show up at South Tucson City Court tomorrow at 10 a.m. If you fail to appear, they'll issue more warrants for you. Do you understand the consequences if you don't show up, Mr. Antinez?
Yes.
You are all done for today. Hi, tell me your name.
Justin Coleman.
Mr. Coleman, you're here today on a warrant out of Pima County Justice Court. It is for an indecent exposure charge. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. It looks like you have another hold there at the jail. Do you have something else going on right now? Another case?
Not just arrested yesterday.
Okay, jail, I'm showing that there is a bond. Does he have a hold somewhere else?
Get the no bond out of the justice court. Felony case.
Yeah, the one to receive
You hear that, Your Honor?
I heard something about there is another felony matter that he's being held on. Is that right?
Yes, it's a no bond.
Okay. Okay. So Mr. Coleman, hang on. I don't want you to talk about your cases, okay? I just wanted to know what you were there for so I could figure out what release conditions to impose for this warrant out of justice court, okay? So because you're being held on something else, no bond, you're not going to get released, but I am going to release you on this charge. So so if you do get released on your felony case, then you will have the opportunity to show up at justice court so you can get this taken care of, okay? So I'm gonna have you released on this case. Your next court date is gonna be October 6th at 8:30 in the morning. You do have to appear at that time if you do get released. If you don't, they'll issue another warrant for you. Do you understand the consequences if you don't show up?
Why?
When you're all done for today, Mr. Coleman.
Hi, good morning.
Morning, Mr. Miller.
I'm very sorry for the confusion. I had myself marked down as the backup, and I'm not quite sure how I became the primary attorney for IAs this morning. So I apologize for that. I'm ready to proceed.
All right, I think we're doing Noah Johnson next, which will be, I think, the first felony that we have this morning. Actually, no, it's not. It's a misdemeanor. The next one's a misdemeanor as well, Mr. Miller, so you're good for a bit.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Hi, sir, at the jail. Tell me your name.
Noah Joseph Johnson.
Mr. Johnson, you're here today for a charge of criminal trespass out of Pima County Justice Court. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. It looks like you are being held at the jail for something else. Do you have another matter going on right now?
I do, unfortunately.
Okay. Is it a felony or a misdemeanor?
I think it's a class 6 felony.
Okay.
So I'm praying I get released to pretrial on my next court date, hopefully.
Okay. So for now, what I'm going to do, Mr. Johnson, is understand the only case that I'm seeing you on today is the misdemeanor criminal trespass. So your felony matter is something separate. It looks like you'll continue to be held on that until you get released or whatever occurs. For this case, I am going to release you. We're here to talk about release conditions on that case today. So if you get released on your felony, this one's not going to hold you. Okay. I'm going to give you another court date in justice court. That court date is going to be October 6th at 8:30 in the morning. You, if you get released by then, are going to have to appear at that date and time. If you don't appear, justice court will issue a warrant for you. If you are still in custody, the jail will make sure to either have you appear via video or transport you to that hearing so that you don't miss it. Okay? If you do get released, you're not allowed to return to the incident location in this case. That's where the victims are and you can't have contact with them. Do you understand the consequences if you don't show up for court?
Yes, ma'am. I think it's Walmart, right?
I didn't have that information, but wherever it was you got arrested from, don't go back there. Yep, don't go back there. Okay? You're all done. You're all done for today.
Thank you.
Your Honor, is the public defender appearing via video this morning?
He is. Derek Miller is on video for us today.
Perfect.
Morning, sir. Tell me your name.
Enrique Velasquez.
Sir, you're here today on, it looks like a warrant out of Cochise County. You appear to still have some matters going on here in Pima.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we want to make sure we're keeping track of this warrant. So we're going to continue to set review hearings for you on this case. We're going to set another review hearing October 27th at 9 a.m. The bond for that Cochise County case is going to remain in effect. So if your Pima County case is still going on, then you'll come back and do just what you're doing here today, checking in on that Cochise County case. If your case here in Pima County gets resolved and you get sentenced, then the idea is the jail would let Cochise County know, and then they would either have to come get you on that case. I don't know what your circumstances are going to be from Pima, if it would give you the opportunity to bond out on your Cochise County case or not. Do you understand all of that?
Yes, Your Honor. Just one thing. I already got sentenced.
Okay, what was your sentence? Was it probation or prison?
Probation.
Okay. So when did that happen?
That happened on the 29th.
Okay. And did you get jail time along with probation or just placed on probation?
30 days.
So,
So my 30 days is up this Monday.
okay. So when that happens, the jail is going to let Cochise County know that your sentence and your incarceration time here is done. And then they will have a certain period of time, usually it's about 3 days or so, to come get you and take you to Cochise County. Or the bond on that case, you could potentially post that bond and then you'd be released, but you still have to take care of your Cochise County matter. So that's how that will work. And then your probation officer should know if you get transported to Cochise County, but make sure whatever happens that you know you're going to be on probation here, that you stay in contact with your probation officer, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So if all of that happens and you're done, that October 27th date that I just set for you will go away. But if for some reason you are still in custody here in Pima, you'll see another judge and we'll just review with you what's going on with your cases, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you're all done for today.
Previous votes. Proceedings. I have a.
Hey, sir, tell me your name.
Candido Rodriguez.
Mr. Rodriguez, I'm seeing you this morning on a warrant out of Maricopa County. It looks like there is a bond that's holding you there at Pima County for your Maricopa County case, but you must have something else still going on here in Pima County.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Have you been sentenced on that matter yet, or is it still pending?
It's still pending.
Okay. So what we do with these hearings, Mr. Rodriguez, is we want to keep track of the Maricopa County warrants. We're going to set another review hearing for you next month, October 27th at 9 o'clock. If your felony case or whatever you're dealing with here in Pima County goes away, the idea is that then Maricopa would be told that your incarceration time here is over and they would need to come pick you up on that warrant. So we want to make sure that should that happen sometime in the next 30 days, you aren't being held here without dealing with that Maricopa warrant. That's why we're setting the review hearing, okay?
Okay.
Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so if you do get your Pima County case resolved, this hearing will just fall off the calendar. If you're still here, you'll see another judge on October 27th at 9 a.m. to just review what we talked about today.
Okay, so I had a question. So it looks like more than likely that I'll be sent to DOC for this case here. So say I'm sent over there, can I have the case number and all this so I can go to court when I'm in DOC so I can file a petition to get everything settled?
I would talk to your attorney about that. Who's your attorney here in Pima?
I don't know her last name. It's kind of weird. Lisa something.
Okay, all right. As long as I would say talk to your attorney about that. The jail has paperwork for your warrant that has the case number. So if you go to DOC, I'm just not sure whether that paperwork or that information goes with you. So I would definitely talk to your attorney here and let them know you have this Maricopa case so that you've got that plan.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you.
All right, you're all done, sir.
All right. Thank you.
37 seat. Solution.
Hi, sir. Tell me your name.
Jeremy Russell Rose.
Mr. Rose, we're seeing you today on a warrant out of Yavapai County. The information I have is that you have something else pending here in Pima County. Is that still the case?
Yes, I was waiting for the PO to come see me to take me to recovery. I have a bed available, according to my probation officer. You've sentenced me already.
Okay, so the bond that you do have out of Yavapai County is a $1,500 cash bond. That's what I'm
Yes, ma'am.
seeing you today for, is just to affirm that. So what I will tell you is that does your probation officer know that you have that hold?
Yeah, she was trying to get a hold of the Yavapai County magistrate to get it squashed. That way they can take me into recovery from here
Okay.
straight over to Captain DeVita and get the program going.
Okay.
Just to let you know, I do have I have a job waiting for me, full-time painting job. And once I start working, my child support, it's for child support, and they take the child support straight out of my check before I
Right.
can get the check.
Yeah.
So that'll squash the warrant automatically too, once payments start making it back up there.
And so the issue today, Mr. Rose, is just, I'm glad to hear that you have a plan in place and that you're ready for treatment. So that's always
Thank you.
good. Stay there and finish that up. So today, what we're going to do is just set another review hearing for you for your Yavapai case in case you're still in custody here. So October 27th at 9, we'll do this again if you're still here. It sounds like you won't be. It sounds like probation will either get the Yavapai matter resolved or potentially Yavapai will have to see you before you can be released to that bed space. So either way, it sounds like your probation officer or your attorney will have that under control, but we just want to make sure that you're not still here. So if you're gone, the October 27th date will fall off the calendar. Otherwise, we'll see you again on the 27th at 9. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
All right,
Yes, I
you're
do.
done for
Yeah.
today. Good luck, Mr.
Thank
Rose.
you. Thank you, I appreciate it.
Hi, sir. Tell me your name. Jail, you're muted again.
Sorry.
Hi, tell me your name.
Timothy Graves.
Mr. Graves, you're here for an initial appearance on a misdemeanor charge involving disorderly conduct. It is a domestic violence offense. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. We're here to talk about your conditions of release today. I've had an opportunity to review some information provided by pretrial services. They prepare a report for me that tells me a little bit about you and also the circumstances of the offense. They did get a chance to talk to your wife, who's listed as the victim in this case. She is saying at this time that you are welcome to return home. So if I release you today, will you promise to appear at a date that I give you in the future at Green Valley Justice Court?
Yes.
Okay. And then if you want to return home, I'm not going to restrict any access to your home or to restrict any communication between you and Ms. Graves at this time. The only condition of release I am going to impose is that you not commit any acts of domestic violence. Do you understand that condition of release?
I understand the condition.
Okay. Your next court date is going to be October 2nd at 8:30 in the morning. You do have to appear at that date and time at Green Valley Justice Court. If you fail to appear, they could issue a warrant for your arrest. Do you understand the consequences if you don't show up for court?
If I don't appear, warrant will be issued for my arrest.
That's right. When you get released later today, the jail should give you a copy of your paperwork that'll have the conditions we discussed today and also that court date and time along with the address and phone number for Green Valley Justice Court.
Thank you.
You're all done for today.
Mark? Where do I go?
Hi, sir. Tell me your name.
Bob Johnson.
Mr. Johnson, you are here today on a charge of misdemeanor assault. It is a domestic violence offense. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Today, we're here to talk about your conditions of release. I've had an opportunity to review a report from pretrial services. They tell me a little bit about you and the circumstances. It looks like your brother, who is the victim in this case, is not objecting to your release. If I release you on this case today, will you promise to show up at a court date that I give you in the future?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And then as a condition of your release, do not commit any acts of domestic violence. Do you understand that condition?
Yep.
All right.
Yes.
Your next court date is going to be October 6th at 10:30 at Pima County Justice Court. You do have to appear at that date and time. If you fail to appear for your hearing, they could issue a warrant for your arrest. Do you understand that consequence if you don't show up for court?
Yes, Your Honor.
When you get released later today, they'll give you a copy of your paperwork and it will have the date and time that we just discussed on it today, okay?
All right. Thank you.
You're all done.
Patricia Spencer? Let's just go back out. Yes, sir. All right, outside.
Hi, ma'am. Tell me your name.
Hi, Patricia Spencer.
Ms. Spencer, you are here today on a misdemeanor charge that involves interfering with a judicial proceeding. It is a domestic violence offense. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. I've had the opportunity to review some information provided by pretrial services. They prepared a report that tells me a little bit about you and also the circumstances of the offense. We also have the victim, who is your granddaughter, on the phone. Megan, are you there?
Daughter-in-law. Daughter-in-law. Hello, Meg.
Okay. So
Daughter-in-law.
Megan,
The granddaughter, Avery.
okay. So I have her listed as the victim, and are you her lawful representative?
Yeah. And it's more me and her.
Okay. So you both obviously are listed as victims. So this is the time for us to talk about conditions of release. We're not here to talk about the facts or the circumstances. That will be for a later court hearing. Do you have input on first release conditions? And then it's my understanding that you do not want to have any contact with Patricia at this time. Is that right?
That is correct. I have that.
Okay, and what would you like to tell me
but I
about,
am,
what would you like to tell me about conditions of
Um,
release?
really my concern because I have the question order. My sister-in-law, they have the right of approximately 13 already. So I am highly concerned that they're escalating and that even court order boundaries are not uh, met. Like, they're disregarding them like we had them. So that is unacceptable.
All right, thank you for providing that input for me today. So, Ms. Spencer, that's what we're here to talk about, is your conditions.
Yes,
of
ma'am.
release on this charge. I am going to appoint an attorney to represent you. Amanda Bynum is who I'm appointing today. I am going to impose a bond. It's going to be a $2,000 cash bond on this matter. If you post the $2,000 cash bond and get released, you are not allowed to have any contact with the victims in this case. So no contact with Megan, no contact with Avery at all. As she stated, and as the court can see, there is an active order of protection, and you are not allowed to have contact with them. Do you understand those conditions of release?
Yes, ma'am, I do thoroughly now. They were not described to me in enough detail, and I was at fault for not reading them entirely.
Okay, so you don't need to say anything about any of this today, Ms. Spencer. You will have an attorney, as I said, that is going to represent you. Your bond is that $2,000. Your next hearing date is tomorrow, and that is going to be at 1 o'clock, and that will be at Pima County Justice Court. If you do not post the bond and you remain in custody, then you will be seen via video, much like you're doing here today in front of a justice court judge. If you post the bond, you are expected to be here tomorrow at 1 o'clock at Justice Court. So do you understand all of the conditions of release that I've imposed today? No contact at all with the victims. Don't commit any acts of domestic violence. Do you understand that?
I do understand that. Do I get released today?
If you post a $2,000 cash bond,
And how do I do that, ma'am?
you're going to have to talk to your attorney about that. That's not information I can assist you with. So the bond is $2,000 cash. Do you understand the consequences if you do not appear for your court date tomorrow if you post that bond?
Yeah,
Okay. We are all done with your matter today.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for calling in, Megan.
Vasquez?
Thank you so much.
Hi, sir. Tell me your name.
Enrique Velasquez.
Mr. Vasquez, you were here on a few different matters today. Looks like you have a warrant out of Marana Municipal Court for failing to appear on a DUI case. And then you have two other matters out of Pima County Justice Court involving driving on a suspended license. Both of them are driving on a suspended license. You do have the right to remain silent on these offenses. Anything you say can and will be used against you. I am going to appoint an attorney to represent you today. We're here to talk about your conditions of release, Mr. Vasquez. I am going to appoint Amanda Bynum to represent you. I am going to impose a bond amount today, primarily because of all of the failures to appear that you've incurred. And that bond is going to be $500. That is going to be a $500 cash bond. If you do post that bond, then you would be released. Your conditions of release, if you post the bond, do not drive without a valid license, and you're not permitted to possess or consume any alcohol, obviously no illegal drugs. Do you understand those conditions that I've imposed? And we're talking right now just about your Pima County Justice Court matters. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
So if you post the bond, you'll get released. If you stay in custody, the jail will make sure you appear for your hearing, which is tomorrow, September 26th at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. If you're still in custody, you'll appear via video like you're doing here today. But if you post the bond, you are expected to be here at Justice Court. If you are not here at Justice Court, they're going to issue a warrant for your arrest. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
We do need to talk about your Marana case. Give me just 1 minute while I fill in some dates on your other Justice Court matter. All right. On your Marana case, I do have to appoint a different attorney to represent you. I'm going to appoint Janet Altschuler in that matter. In that matter, I am going to impose a $100 cash bond. So the total for you to bond out would be $600. Your next hearing in front of the Marana judge is actually going to be today at noon. So you will be there in custody, and much like you're doing right now, you'll appear in front of the Marana City Court judge at noon today to see what can be done on this matter.
Okay.
All right. And then if you post the bond, I don't know what they'll do. You'll have to let the Marana City Court judge figure out what they're going to do on this case. And then if they remove the $100 bond, then you'll still have the $500 on the Justice Court matter. If you're in custody, you'll get seen on that one tomorrow. But if you post, you've got to show up. Do you understand the consequences if you don't show up, that they could issue more warrants for your arrest?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're all done for today.
Thank you.
Custom.
Hi, tell me your name.
Fausto Neal.
All right, Mr. Anito, you are here today on a domestic violence charge involving criminal damage. This is a matter out of Tucson City Court. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. We're here to talk about your conditions of release today. I've had an opportunity to review some information provided by pretrial services. They prepare a report that tells me a little bit about you and also the circumstances of the offense. They were not able to reach your mom, who's the victim in this case. So if I release you today on this case, will you promise to show up at a court date that I give you in the future?
Yes, ma'am.
You are not going to be permitted to return back to where your mother is living. Are you living with her?
So can I go get clothes or?
Yeah, we'll talk about how to do that, but you're not going to be allowed to go back there. Do you have somewhere else that you can stay?
Yes, ma'am. I have my friends.
Okay, all right. So I am going to release you on this matter today. This is also the time for your arraignment on this charge. You are presumed innocent. I'm going to enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. Your conditions of release are that you not commit any acts of domestic violence, and you're not to have any contact with your mom at this time. Don't go anywhere near where she is living or working.
Yes, ma'am.
I am going to check a box on your conditions of release form, which you'll get today when you get released. It says you may return to that location one time so that you can collect your belongings, but you must go with law enforcement.
All right.
Right? So make sure that you either call 911 or go to a nearby substation and give them a copy of the order that the court has.
All right.
Your next court date is going to be in front of Judge Cranshaw at Tucson City Court on October 24th at 9:30 in the morning. You are going to have to appear at that date and time. If you fail to appear, they could issue a warrant for your arrest. They could also go forward with that hearing in your absence and set future hearings, including a trial in your absence. If you get convicted and can't be sentenced within 90 days, they could also issue or you could also lose your right to appeal. Do you understand all of those consequences if you don't show up at city court?
Yes, Your Honor.
We're all done for today.
All right. Thank you.
Mr. Take their brown chair.
Hi, sir. Tell me your name.
Jeremy House,
Mr. House, it looks like you are here.
being held wrongfully right now without a charge all day.
So I'm about to give you some information, Mr. House. It looks like you're here for a new disorderly conduct charge out of Tucson City Court. And you also have some other matters out of Tucson City Court as well. Looks like additional disorderly conduct and criminal trespass charges. You do have the right to remain silent on this charge. This is the time for your arraignment also on this charge. You are presumed innocent. We're going to enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. So, Mr. House, if I release you on this charge today, you're going to have to go to Tucson City Court on your own so that you can get this matter resolved along with your other cases. We're going to give you one joint court date where you can go and get all of these matters taken care of. Are you going to show up if I release you?
I'm gonna go to court and everybody better show up like they're supposed to if they want to like guilty everything, because I'm not guilty to the fullest and I'll be there every time. Yeah, no problem. I might tell you when I'm not.
So I am going to release you on your promise to appear. You are not allowed to have any contact with the victim or return to the incident location. Those are going to be your conditions of release today. Your next hearing, Mr. House, is going to be October 31st at 2 o'clock. You do have to appear at that date and time. If you fail to appear, they could issue a warrant for your arrest. They could also go forward with that hearing in your absence and set future hearings in your absence, including a trial. If you get convicted at trial and can't be sentenced within 90 days, you're going to lose your right to an appeal. Do you understand all of those consequences if you don't go to court? Jail, I need you to unmute so he can answer that for me, please.
I'll try my best, but it's not gonna hold up real well if it's just all not guilty, but no
Mr.
matter what
House?
it is.
I just need you to answer a question. Do you understand the consequences if you do not go to court? Yes or no?
Very clearly.
Okay, then you're all done for, you're all done for
Oh,
today.
could I get
Mr. House, you're all done. Jail, I need, there we go. Hi, sir, tell me your name.
Lopez?
Mr. Lopez, you're here today on charges of criminal trespass, disorderly conduct, and obstructing a highway. You do have the right to remain silent on these charges. Anything you say can and will be used against you. These are misdemeanor offenses out of Tucson City Court. We're here to talk about your conditions of release today. If I release you on these matters, will you promise to go to court on a court date that I give you in the future?
Yes.
I am going to release you on your promise to appear. This is also the time for your arraignment on these charges. You are presumed innocent. I'm going to enter not guilty pleas on your behalf. Your conditions of release, sir, you're not allowed to have any contact with the victims in this case or return to the incident location. Do you understand those conditions?
Yes.
Your next court date is going to be October 27th at 9:30 in the morning at Tucson City Court. That will be in front of Judge Hale. You do have to appear at that date and time. If you fail to appear, they could issue a warrant for your arrest. They could also go forward with that hearing in your absence and set future hearings, including a trial in your absence. If you get convicted at trial and can't be sentenced within 90 days, you could lose your right to a direct appeal. Do you understand all of the consequences if you don't show up to court?
Yes.
All right, you're all done for today, Mr. Lopez.
Thank you.
Hi, tell me your name.
Mangle.
All right, Mr. Mangle, you're here for multiple cases out of Tucson City Court. There are warrants for drug paraphernalia, criminal trespass, resisting arrest, obstructing, refusing to provide your name, more drug paraphernalia, more resisting arrest. You do have the right to remain silent on those charges. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Looks like you also have some felony matters going on, right?
Yeah.
So regardless of what I do on this case today, you're going to continue to be held. I am going to appoint the City Public Defender's Office to represent you on all of these cases today. I am going to set a video review hearing for you for your Tucson City Court cases on October 3rd at 1:45 in the afternoon. If you're still in custody, the jail will make sure you appear just like you're doing today over video so that you can get these city court cases handled. If you end up getting released before that time on your other matters, you're going to have to go to court on October 23rd at 9 o'clock in the morning. If you do get released, don't go back to any of the incident locations that we talked about. That's where the victims are and you can't go back there. Do you understand those consequences?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
So I'm going to impose a bond on your city court cases. It's going to be a $500 cash bond. And do you understand that if you fail to appear for your hearing, if you do get released, that they could issue a warrant for your arrest? They could also go forward in your absence with hearings. Do you understand that as well?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're all done on your cases for today, Mr. Mangle.
Thank you.
You're up.
You mean next?
Hi, sir. Tell me your name.
Angel Junior Modto.
Mr. Modto, you are here today on an assault charge and another charge out of Tucson City Court. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. We're here to talk about your conditions of release today.
Okay.
If I do release you on these cases, will you promise to show up to court?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to release you. Your next court date is going to be October 22nd at 9 a.m. And that's going to be in front of Judge Verena. You do have to appear at that date and time. If you fail to appear, they could issue a warrant for your arrest. They could also go forward with that hearing in your absence and set future hearings in your absence, including a trial. If you get convicted at trial and can't be sentenced within 90 days, you could lose your right to a direct appeal. Do you understand all of those consequences if you don't show up to court?
Yeah.
Your conditions of release: you are not allowed to return to the incident location or have any contact with the victims in this case. Do you understand that as well?
Yeah.
All right, when you get released today, you're going to get a copy of your paperwork that'll have the conditions we talked about and also your court date. Make sure you show up. You're all done for today.
Thank you.
Hi, Mr. Pichardo.
Hi.
Tell me your full name.
Ricardo.
You are here today on new charges out of Tucson City Court and also a warrant. The warrants for criminal trespass and drug paraphernalia. The new charges involve criminal trespass, drug paraphernalia, and refusing to provide a name. You do have the right to remain silent on these charges. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Jail, are you showing any other holds for Mr. Pichardo?
We are not, Your Honor.
Okay. So, Mr. Pichardo, if I release you on these matters, will you promise to show up at a court date that I give you in the future?
Yes.
I am going to release you on these matters. This is your arraignment on the new charges that we talked about. You are presumed innocent. We're going to enter not guilty pleas on your behalf. Your next court date is going to be October 27th at 9 a.m. at Tucson City Court. Sorry, 9:30 a.m. at Tucson City Court. And that's going to be in front of Judge Hale. You are required to appear at that date and time. If you fail to appear, they could issue a warrant for your arrest. They could also go forward with that hearing in your absence and set future hearings in your absence. If you get convicted at a trial that they set and you're not there and can't be sentenced within 90 days and are convicted, you'll lose your right to a direct appeal. Do you understand all of the consequences
Yeah.
if you didn't show up? Your additional conditions of release, wherever the criminal trespasses occurred, don't go back to that location, 3301 South 6. You're not allowed to go back there. That's where the victims are. Do you understand those conditions?
Yeah.
Okay, you're all done for today, Mr. Pichardo.
Stephen White.
Hi, sir. Tell me your name.
Stephen White, Your Honor.
Mr. White, you're here today on charges of assault and 2 counts of disorderly conduct. These are misdemeanor offenses out of Tucson City Court. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. This is the time to set your conditions of release. I've had an opportunity to review some information provided by pretrial services. They tell me a little bit about you and the circumstances of the offense. They also contact the victim in this case. So a couple questions for you. They were not able to reach Miss Mitchell or her minor aged child. So at this time, what that's going to mean is you're not going to be allowed to have any contact with her or return to the incident location or anywhere near where she is living or working.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, do you live with her currently?
No, Your Honor.
Did this happen at her place or yours?
Gas station, Your Honor.
Okay. So don't go back to the incident location or where she is living or working. Her or the daughter. Do you understand those conditions?
Yes, Your Honor.
And if I release you, are you going to show up at a court date that I give you?
I will, Your Honor.
All right, give me just one moment. Do not commit any acts of domestic violence. Your next court date is going to be October 28th at 1:30 in the afternoon. That will be at Tucson City Court. And that will be in front of Judge Million. This is also the time for your arraignment on these charges. You are presumed innocent. We're going to enter not guilty pleas on your behalf. If you fail to appear for that hearing date I gave you, October 28th at 1:30, they could issue a warrant for your arrest. They could also go forward with that hearing in your absence and set future hearings, including a trial in your absence. If you get convicted at trial and can't be sentenced within 90 days, you could lose your right to a direct appeal. Do you understand all of the consequences if you don't show up for court?
Sure do, Your Honor.
When you get released, you're going to get a copy of your court paperwork that has the conditions we discussed today and also your court date and time. You're all done for today, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Willingham.
Hi, ma'am. Tell me your name.
Willingham?
Ms. Willingham, you're here today on a charge of assault and criminal damage out of Tucson City Court. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. We're here to talk about your conditions of release on this case. It looks like you have a probation hold. Jail, are you showing her probation hold?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So regardless of what I do on this case, Miss Willingham, you're not going to be released until your probation matter is resolved.
Okay.
Okay, what I am going to do is release you on these misdemeanor charges so that if you get released on your felony, it's not going to continue to hold you. I am going to appoint the city public defender's office to represent you, and we're going to give you a hearing date that's a ways out, November 21st at 9 a.m. The idea is to get your felony matter resolved and then be able to deal with your misdemeanor case. Someone from the city public defender's office should be in contact with you. If you get released before that November 21st date at 9, you do have to appear at that hearing.
Okay.
Okay, no contact with the victim. Don't go near the incident location. Do you understand the conditions of release that I've imposed today?
Yes, I do.
All right. So the next hearing, that November 21st at 9 a.m. in front of Judge Mayhew is going to be your next appearance. If you're still in custody, the jail will help you with that appearance. If you do get released, you have to appear. If you fail to appear, they can issue a warrant for you. They can also go forward in your absence and set future hearings, including a trial in your absence. If you get convicted and can't be sentenced within 90 days, you'll lose your right to a direct appeal. Do you understand all of those consequences if you don't show up for court?
Yes, I do.
All right, you're all done, ma'am.
Thank you. Go back up there.
Santos.
Santos.
I don't think I should take it off there.
Thank you. Hi, sir. Tell me your name.
Paul Santos.
Mr. Santos, you're here today on a felony and charge involving sex conduct with a minor. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You do have the right to an attorney. Today, we're going to appoint the legal defender's office to represent you. You do have counsel today. Derek Miller is appearing from the public defender's office remotely. He will be representing you for purposes of these proceedings. We're here today to talk about your conditions of release. It does look like you were on federal probation. Jail, are you showing any kind of hold at this time?
She's looking, Your Honor. Give her 1 sec. What's that? We're not showing anything, Your Honor.
Okay. So I've had a chance to review a report from pretrial that tells me a little bit about you and also the circumstances of the offense. I've also had a chance to review the state's request as to a bond amount. It looks like they're requesting $250,000 today. Mr. Poston, did you want to be heard further?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Miller?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. I would just note, based on the interim complaint, I'm not seeing any suggestion of physical coercion or the use of a weapon, anything like that. I would just ask for a significantly lower bond than the $250,000 asked for by the state, maybe somewhere in the area of $50,000.
Your Honor, the state would respectfully note that coercion isn't an element of the charged offense.
I'm aware of that, Mr. Poston, and this is a class 6 felony as well. So I am considering all of that. I am going to impose a bond in the amount of $50,000, cash or secured. Mr. Santos, if you were to post that bond, then you would be released to pretrial services. You're going to have to stay in contact with that agency as directed. You're not allowed to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, and you can't have any firearms or weapons. You're not permitted to have any contact with the victim in this case. Do not go anywhere near where that victim is living or working or have any contact with her lawful representatives. You are not to have any unsupervised contact with minors. Should you get released on this case, you need to contact your probation officer with the feds the first day that you get released. Do you understand all of those conditions of your release, Mr. Santos?
Yes.
Your next court date is going to be October 6th at 1:30 in the afternoon. That is a preliminary hearing. That hearing may or may not occur, but you are expected to show up at all future hearings. And if you fail to appear, a warrant could issue for your arrest. Do you understand the consequences if you fail to appear for court?
Yeah.
You're all done for today. Is this the one that I gave you already?
David?
Oh, he has 2 matters, no city court. Oh, he does have city court dates.
Gotcha.
Right, this is the one, Marty, I go to published. Where do I, the other one for him? I'll find it. All right. All right. Sir, is your name Raymond Lee Davis? Okay, I'm seeing you nod your head. It's my understanding that you're not able to speak. Is that also correct? You're nodding your head again. Okay. This is the time for your initial appearance, Mr. Davis, on multiple matters. The first are felony charges involving possession, use, administration, acquisition, sale, manufacture, transportation of dangerous drugs. You do have the right to remain silent on that charge. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You do have the right to an attorney in that matter. We're going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you today. And you do have Derek Miller, an attorney from the public defender's office that is appearing via video. We're also going to talk about a Tucson City Court matter and a Justice Court matter when we're done with this, but we're going to handle the felony matters first. We do need to talk about your conditions of release. I've had an opportunity to review some information provided by pretrial services. I've also had a chance to review information provided by the state's attorney. They are asking for a $25,000 cash or secured bond. Mr. Poston, did you need to be heard further?
Your Honor, the state would just note his extensive history.
I am inclined to impose the bond. Mr. Miller, did you want to be heard?
Yes, Your Honor, just briefly, based on the interim complaint, what I'm seeing here is about 7.5 grams of methamphetamine allegedly in Mr. Davis's possession. In my view, that's more consistent with personal use than in manufacture or sale. I would also just note that there doesn't appear to be any weapon involved, any ledger, any other indication of sales or manufacturing. It's drugs in a sandwich bag.
All right, I am going to impose a bond and I will lower it to $15,000 cash or secured on the felony matter. Mr. Davis, if you do post that bond, then you'd be released to pretrial services. You'll have to participate in any monitoring or treatment they direct. You're not allowed to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, and you can't have any guns. Do you understand the conditions of release I've imposed on that case? I'll note that you're nodding. Your next hearing date is going to be October 6th at 1:30. That's a preliminary hearing. That hearing may or may not occur, but you are expected to show up at all future hearings. And if you fail to appear, they could issue a warrant for your arrest. Do you understand that as well? Again, I'm seeing you nod. Okay. Date. Okay, so I'm gonna close it. Hang on, Mr. Davis, I apologize. I'm having some technical difficulties. Okay. All right, now let's talk about your justice court matter, Mr. Davis. You are here for the justice court matters that do involve domestic violence, disorderly conduct, another disorderly conduct charge, criminal trespass. And then it looks like an assault charge. You do have the right to remain silent on all of those as well. I am going to appoint an attorney to represent you on the misdemeanor case. And that is going to be Brent Cicero. And so for that case, I am going to impose a $250 cash or secured bond. You're not to have any contact with the victims if you post that bond, and don't return to the incident locations. Don't commit any acts of domestic violence. Your next hearing for your misdemeanor matter is going to be tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the afternoon is when you'll be seen. If you're still in custody, you'll be seen just like you're doing here today on video, so you can get your justice court matters resolved or take the next steps there. Do you understand all of that for that case, Mr. Davis? All right, I'm seeing you nod for that one. Now let's talk about your Tucson City Court case. Or cases. All right. It looks like you're here for a warrant out of Tucson City assault. On that matter, sir, I'm going to release you. I am going to appoint the City Public Defender's Office to represent you. And we're going to give you a hearing date a ways out so you can get your felony and your justice court matters hopefully taken care of. And it's going to be November 21st at 9 a.m. And that's going to be with Judge Close. And that will be at Tucson City Court. That's called a non-transport review hearing. And don't commit any acts of domestic violence in that case, and no contact with the victim in that case either. Don't go anywhere near where they're living or working. Do you understand the conditions for your city court case, Mr. Davis? All right, I'm seeing you nod. All right, you're all done for today, sir.
Bye. I told Jeremy on the side.
Hi, ma'am. Tell me your name.
Doctor.
Ms. Baka, you're here today on felony charges involving misconduct, involving weapons, being a prohibited possessor, being in possession of a firearm, possession of a narcotic drug, possession of drug paraphernalia, and possession of a firearm during a narcotics offense. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You do have the right to an attorney. Today, we're going to appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. And you do have an attorney, Mr. Miller, that is appearing via video today on your behalf. We're here to talk about your conditions of release. On this case, I've had an opportunity to review information provided by pretrial services. They prepare a report that tells me a little bit about you and also the circumstances of the offense. I've also had a chance to review the state's recommendation. They're asking for a $10,000 bond. Mr. Poston, did you want to be heard further?
No, Judge.
Mr. Miller?
Yes, Your Honor, just briefly, I would note that based on the interim complaint, it appears that Ms. Baka was cooperative with officers. It does not appear certainly that she attempted to use this firearm against the officers at all. On that basis, I don't believe she poses a threat to the community that would warrant a $10,000 bond. I would ask for something more in the area of $1,000.
I am going to impose a $5,000 cash or secured bond today. Ms. Baka, if you post the bond, then you'd be released to pretrial services. You are going to have to participate in any monitoring or treatment that they direct you to. You are not allowed to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, and you are not permitted to possess any firearms. Do you understand those conditions of release if you post your bond?
Yeah.
Your next hearing date is going to be October 6th at 1:30. That's a preliminary hearing. That date may or may not occur, but you are expected to show up at all future hearings, and if you fail to appear, a warrant could issue for your arrest. Do you understand the consequences if you fail to appear?
Yes.
You're all done for today, Ms. Baka.
Bert?
The NTR, if you look on the purple sheet, it says close, even for hers. That's why I put that. Okay, no worries. That's why I had it on there, because I noticed that as well. But that's what that purple sheet tells me to do, so that's why it's on there. Do you see where it says the NTR? Yeah. Thank you. Hi, tell me your name.
Burton.
Mr. Burton, you are here today on 2 counts of aggravated assault. One is involving a deadly weapon or dangerous instrument. The other is significant but temporary disfigurement. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You do have the right to an attorney in this case. We're going to appoint the Legal Defender's Office to represent you, and you do have an attorney today, Mr. Miller, who's appearing via video, who will represent you for purposes of these proceedings. We're here to talk about your conditions of release. I've had a chance to review information provided by pretrial services. They do tell me that you're currently on probation. Jail, are you showing a hold at this time?
Correct, Your Honor, adult probation hold.
All right. So, sir, because probation has placed a hold on you, regardless of what I do on this case today with your conditions of release, you'll continue to be held until that probation matter is resolved. The state is recommending a $75,000 bond. I am inclined to impose a bond today in the amount of $25,000. Mr. Poston, did you want to be heard further?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Miller? Mr. Burton? Mr. Burton?
Hey.
Mr. Burton, come here. If he doesn't come back, he's going to have to be rolled to tonight.
We still on misdemeanors?
Oh, the felony. Burton's the one that walked out. You might as well just roll him over, guys. He's not going to. Where is he gonna go?
They're recommending him back in now, Miss Miller.
Thank you.
No, let's see, it's a dumbass fucking court, nigga, and don't grab me, bro.
So, Mr. Burton,
Fuck out, nigga. Before I start swinging, man. You shot me all this for no reason. I'm literally trying to sit down there and bullet, nigga.
This trying to get you?
Nigga, y'all could have done it out there. The fuck y'all doing the most for? Y'all come to me for no reason.
Mr. Burton,
No, fuck all that shit, bro.
Okay,
got a hold for no fucking reason.
so what we're gonna do if you don't cooperate is you're gonna have to come back again
don't.
tonight.
Oh, I don't care. Do what y'all gotta do, bro, because I'm already hungry regardless.
That's right. So the $25,000 cash for secured bond is what's being imposed. Your next hearing is gonna be,
For right now, so could you move your arms? No, I can't. You're fucking moving my arm because it's.
Mr. Burton. Your next hearing is gonna be October 6th at 1:30. That's a preliminary hearing. That's for this case. You'll be seen on your probation matter separately. You do have to appear at that hearing. If you fail to appear, a warrant could issue for your arrest. Do you understand? You can just nod your head. Do you understand the conditions of release today? Sorry, do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. Can I leave now?
Do you understand the consequences if you don't show up for court? Then you're all done.
Be locked up. Be locked up, so I don't care.
Okay, yep, you're all done.
Nice, sir. Sure. Right. Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. DeWitt, have a seat here, please. Thank you. Yes.
Hi, sir, tell me your name.
Justin DeWitt.
Mr. DeWitt, you're here today on felony charges involving drug paraphernalia and possession of a narcotic drug. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You do have the right to an attorney in this matter. Today, we're going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you, and you do have Mr. Miller appearing via video from the public defender's office. We're here to talk about your conditions of release. Mr. DeWitt, based on the charges, you may be eligible to participate in the STEPS program. That's a pre-indictment diversion program where if you agree to participate in substance abuse treatment and you successfully complete the program, if you qualify, the state would not go forward with the felony charges against you. Is that something that you're interested in doing?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
All right. So with that, counsel, I am inclined to release him to pretrial services. That's the state's recommendation. Mr. Poston, did you need to be heard further?
No, Judge.
Mr. Miller, are you going to be willing to waive time for the preliminary hearing given his out of custody status?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So Mr. DeWitt, what I'm going to do is give you a hearing date for next week, October 2nd at 9 a.m. That will occur in Superior Court. When you show up on the first floor, check your name on the board. It'll tell you what courtroom you need to appear in on the 2nd at 9 a.m. That will be the time that you will find out if you're eligible to participate in STEPS. You'll meet with a member of the public defender's office. There will also be service providers from our substance abuse treatment community present at that time so that you have an opportunity to get connected with them. You have to go to that hearing if you want to be eligible for that program. Okay. Your next hearing after that in this case is going to be a preliminary hearing. That's going to be November 10th at 1:30 in the afternoon. What I asked your attorney is normally the state would have 20 days to file charges against you, but since we're going to see whether or not you are eligible to participate in STEPS, we're going to give the state 45 days. So that's why that preliminary hearing is November 10th. You do have to appear at your hearing. If you fail to show up, they could issue a warrant for your arrest. Do you understand the consequences if you don't show up to court?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you're being released to pretrial services today for that hearing. You do have to stay in contact with pretrial services as directed, participate in any monitoring or treatment they direct. You're not allowed to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, and you can't have any firearms. Do you understand those conditions?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you are all done for today.
Oh, what about a city?
Oh, that's right. Sorry, thanks. Sorry, you do have a city court case we need to talk about. Hang on.
Yeah, it's okay.
All right. Your city court matter is for failing to appear on charges of criminal damage and disorderly conduct. So I'm going to release you on those cases, Mr. DeWitt. Just don't go back to the incident location. That's where the victims are and you can't have contact with them. We're going to give you a chance to make this right. And I'm going to give you another court date, October 22nd at 9 a.m. You do have to appear for that court date in front of Judge Verena. If you don't show up, they're just going to issue another warrant for you. So make sure you show up at that date and time so you can get that matter taken care of.
Okay.
Right?
Yes, ma'am. I never received something in the mail. I guess they were supposed to send me something. And I just never got that. I guess the court date in the mail for that. I was already dealing with another court. But yes.
Mr. DeWitt, when you get released today, you're going to get a copy of your court paperwork and it's going to have the date and time of this hearing. If for any reason you ever lose track of that, you know this is out there, right? Go to Tucson City Court, call them, figure out what you need to do to get a hearing date set so you don't end up in jail on warrants.
Okay.
Okay, you're all done.
Yes, sir.
Hi, sir. Tell me your name.
Albert Flores.
Mr. Flores, you were here on charges of possession of a narcotic drug and drug paraphernalia. These are felony offenses. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You do have the right to an attorney. We're going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. And you have Derek Miller, who is on Teams today, appearing on your behalf. We're here to talk about your conditions of release. You are eligible to participate in steps. I see, Mr. Flores, that you were already in steps previously.
I start tomorrow. I go to a rehab tomorrow. Yeah.
What rehab were you supposed to go to tomorrow?
La Frontera.
Okay, well, La Frontera has many. So where in La Frontera were you supposed to
I
go?
I have it all written down. I don't have it on me. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I have it all written down. You can.
Who have
I
you,
went to.
who have you
What?
been, who have you been in contact with at pretrial services?
I went to court last week and made the date for tomorrow to start participating in the program. After and they told me what date and I had it all written down.
So the address that I have for you, Mr. Flores, is actually in Benson. Do you have a
Yeah.
place?
Yeah.
Okay, well, do you have a place here that you can stay?
Yes. 5919 Tino Drive.
Okay, so you do have a place here that you're going to be able to go.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So you're also eligible to participate in steps in this case as well, based on the nature of the charges, if the state finds that you're eligible. So
Okay.
you're going to get a new court date today, another one that you're going to
Okay.
have to go to see if you're eligible on this case. Do you understand that?
I go to all my court dates.
Okay, well, I'm going to release you to pretrial services on this case as well. Does either party need to be heard?
No, Judge.
No, Your Honor.
All right,
Thank you.
all right.
Hi,
So,
Mr. Flores.
Mr. Flores,
Previous client of mine. Sorry, Your Honor.
no, I don't know whether that's good or bad, Mr. Flores. So, all right, we want to get you back on track here. So you're being.
Thank you.
So go to La Frontera tomorrow. Please keep your appointment so that you can stay in compliance with your other case. Got it?
Yes, ma'am. Of course.
Wait, before you go, your new steps hearing for this new case is going to be October 2nd at 9. So the same thing you
Okay.
went through last week, you're going to have to do all over again. And then make sure you stay in touch with pretrial services. Do not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs and no firearms. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
People, places, and things. Avoid those while you're going through this process and getting the help you need. Is your dad's house a place that you can go to safely and avoid people, places, and things that?
Yeah,
Okay,
for sure.
okay. We're going to waive the time to participate or for the preliminary hearing, Mr. Miller.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So, Mr. Flores, the next hearing date after your steps hearing next week, which you have to go to, is going to be November 10th at 1:30. That'll be your preliminary hearing in this new case. That hearing may or may not happen, but you do have to show up at your hearings or they can issue a warrant for your arrest. So do you understand all the consequences if you fail to
Yes.
appear?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, make sure you make that appointment at La Frontera tomorrow.
I will.
All right,
I promise I will.
you're all done.
Thank you.
Good. Hernandez.
So can I change the PhD? I know I did November 10th, but since you only do the next week, can I change it to the 11th? I don't care. Whatever. Hi, sir. Tell me your name.
Philip Hernandez.
Mr. Hernandez, you were here today on felony charges of possession of a dangerous drug and drug paraphernalia. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You do have the right to an attorney. We're going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. And you do have an attorney, Mr. Miller, appearing via Teams representing you today. We're here to talk about your conditions of release. Mr. Hernandez, based on the nature of the charges, you may be eligible to participate in a substance abuse treatment program called STEPS. If you qualify for that program and successfully complete it, then the state would not go forward with these felony charges. Is that something that you're interested in doing?
Yes, please. Thank you.
So with that, I do intend to release Mr. Hernandez to pretrial services. Does either party need to be heard further?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
All right. So Mr. Hernandez, I'm going to give you a hearing date for next week. And that's going to be October 2nd at 9 o'clock. You have to show up at Pima County Superior Court. On the bottom floor, you're going to see a big blue screen above the elevators. Look for your name. It'll tell you what courtroom you need to go to. You have to appear for that hearing if you want to see if you're eligible in this program. Your attorney will be present there that day. Pretrial services will be there, and service providers for substance abuse will also be there so you can get connected to those services and sign up for the program if that's what you want to do. So I'm releasing you today on these charges. You must stay in contact with pretrial services. Participate in any monitoring or treatment they direct. You're not allowed to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, and you can't have any firearms while this case is going on. Do you understand all of those conditions?
Yes, ma'am.
Willing to waive time on this one, Mr. Miller?
Yes, Your Honor.
So Mr. Hernandez, normally the state has 20 days to file felony charges against you, but because we're going to see if you're eligible to participate in STEPS, we're going to give the state 45 days. So the next hearing date after the one next week that you have to go to will be November 10th at 1:30 in the afternoon. That's a preliminary hearing. That court date may or may not occur, but you expect it to show up at all future hearings. And if you fail to appear, they could issue a warrant for your arrest. Do you understand the consequences if you don't go to court?
Yes, ma'am.
You're all done for today.
Thank you. That's all right.
Yes.
Hi, ma'am. Tell me your name.
Miranda Keeker.
Amy was here today on felony charges of possession of a narcotic drug, possession of a dangerous drug, and drug paraphernalia. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You do have the right to an attorney. We're going to appoint the legal defender's office to represent you today. And there is an attorney, Mr. Miller, appearing via video who is representing you for purposes of these proceedings. We're here today to talk about your conditions of release on these charges. Based on the nature of the charges, you may be eligible to participate in a pre-indictment diversion program called STEPS, where if you agree to participate in substance abuse treatment and you qualify for the program and successfully complete it, the state would not go forward with these felony charges. Is that something you're interested in seeing if you are eligible for?
Yes, ma'am.
So what I'm going to do is give you a hearing date next week. I will release you to pretrial services today. Does either counsel need to be heard further?
No, Judge.
No, Your Honor.
Willing to waive time, Mr. Miller?
Yes, Your Honor.
So ma'am, we're going to release you to pretrial services today. You have to stay in contact with that agency. You have to participate in any monitoring or treatment they direct. You're not allowed to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, and you can't have any firearms while this case is going on. Do you understand those conditions?
Yes, ma'am.
Your next hearing will be the steps hearing. That's next week, October 2nd at 9 a.m. That will occur in Pima County Superior Court. When you get there on the first floor, check the monitor right above the elevator for your name, and it'll tell you what floor and courtroom you need to appear in. At that hearing will be your attorney. There'll be representatives from treatment providers in our community, as well as representatives from pretrial services. If you're eligible to participate, you can sign up that day, get connected to services, and begin your work in that program. But you have to make sure you go if you want to be eligible. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Normally, the state would have 20 days to file these charges against you. But because we're going to see if you're eligible to participate in steps, we're going to extend that time out to 45 days. So your next hearing after the one next week that you have to go to will be a preliminary hearing, November 10th at 1:30. That hearing may or may not occur. A lot of that depends on what happens with your steps program. But if you fail to appear for hearings, they could issue a warrant for your arrest. Do you understand the consequences if you fail to appear?
Yes, ma'am.
You are all done for today.
Lady Lopez?
Hi, sir. Tell me your name.
Hola, Agustin Lopez.
Mr. Lopez, you are here today on felony charges of misconduct involving a weapon, a couple of counts, and then possession of narcotic drug and drug paraphernalia. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You do have the right to an attorney. We're going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you today. I've had a chance to review some information provided by pretrial services. It does look like you have a hold from DOC. Jail, are you showing that hold at this time?
Correct, Your Honor.
All right. So that means, Mr. Lopez, regardless of what I do for your conditions of release today, you're going to be held until the parole matter can be resolved. In light of that, I am inclined to impose a $5,000 cash or secured bond. Does either party want to be heard further?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Lopez, for these new felony charges, I'm going to impose a $5,000 cash or secured bond. If you post that bond, if your parole matter, for example, gets taken care of and you post the bond, then you'd be released to pretrial services. You're going to have to participate in any monitoring or treatment they direct. You're not allowed to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, and you are not permitted to have any firearms. Do you understand all of those conditions?
Yes.
Your next court date is going to be a preliminary hearing on October 6th at 1:30. That hearing may or may not occur, but you are expected to show up at all future hearings. And if you fail to appear, they could issue a warrant for your arrest. Do you understand consequences if you don't appear for court?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're all done for today.
Thank you. Marshal? Pardo?
Hi, sir. Tell me your name.
Early Marshall.
You are here today on charges of theft of means of transportation. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You do have the right to an attorney. We're going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. And you do have counsel on Teams today, Mr. Miller, who will be representing you. We're here to talk about your conditions of release. I've had a chance to review some information provided by pretrial services. They prepare a report that tells me a little bit about you and also the circumstances of the offense. I've also had a chance to review the state's recommendation of a $10,000 bond. I am inclined to release Mr. Marshall to pretrial services today. Mr. Poston, did you want to be heard?
Given the court's inclination, no.
Mr. Miller?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So, Mr. Marshall, you will be released today, but it's to pretrial services. So what that means is you have to stay in contact with that agency. You're going to have to participate in any monitoring or treatment they direct. You are not allowed to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, and you can't have any firearms. Do not have any contact with the victims in this case or go back to the incident locations. Do you understand all of those conditions?
Yes, ma'am.
You're going to abide by all of those?
Yes, ma'am.
Your next hearing in this case is going to be a preliminary hearing that will may occur on October 15th at 1:30. As I've said, that hearing may or may not occur. but it's your responsibility to show up at all future court dates. And if you fail to appear, a warrant could issue for your arrest. Since you'll be out of custody, it's important that you stay in contact with your attorney so you do not miss that court date. Do you understand the consequences if you fail to appear for court?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're all done for today.
Mr. Soto?
Hi, sir. Tell me your name.
London Sto.
Mr. Soto, you
Yep.
worked here today for a charge of possession of a dangerous drug. It looks like the state is moving to dismiss that charge. Is that right? Hang on, sir. I need to hear from Mr. Poston, not you.
Your Honor is correct.
All right. So you're being released on those charges, the drug charge. However, what I will tell you is in looking at pretrial services report, it does look like probation has a hold on you at this time. So I don't know that you're going to be released today because of that probation hold. They'll have to deal with that before you're going to get out. Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, because I think it was like say a legal search.
We're not going to talk about any of that today. I don't know why the state, Hey, Mr. Soto,
Oh my bad.
don't say anything about the offense. I'm just telling you that even though this charge today has been dismissed without prejudice, you're still going to be held until your probation matter is resolved. You're all done.
So one of my PO come see me.
I do not know the answer to that.
Swinson. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
How are you doing?
Hi, tell me your name.
Swinson.
Mr. Swinson, you are here today on charges of unlawful possession of a narcotic drug for sale and also drug paraphernalia. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You do have the right to an attorney. We're going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. And Derek Miller is the attorney that will appear on your behalf today for these proceedings. We're here to talk about your conditions of release. I've had an opportunity to review some information provided by pretrial services. That report tells me that you are on probation and it looks like they have a hold on you. So regardless of what I do on this case today, you're not going to be released until your probation matter is resolved. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I've had a chance to review the state's recommendation. They're asking for a $25,000 bond on this case. Mr. Poston, did you want?
No, Judge.
Mr. Miller?
Yes, just briefly, Your Honor, I would note lack of weapons or any threats of violence against officers. It appears indeed that Mr. Swinson was cooperative with officers for reasons of officer safety. For that reason, I don't think he poses a danger to the community that would justify a $25,000 bond. I'd ask for something lower, maybe in the area of $5,000.
I am going to impose a $10,000 cash or secured bond today. If you post that bond, Mr. Swinson, and get your probation matter resolved, then you'll be released to pretrial on these charges.
Yes, ma'am.
You're going to have to stay in contact with pretrial services if you get released, participate in any monitoring or treatment they may direct. You're going to not be allowed to possess any firearms, and you can't possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. Do you understand those conditions?
Yes, ma'am.
Your next court date is going to be October 6th at 1:30. That's a preliminary hearing. That court date may or may not occur, but you are expected to show up at all future hearings. And if you fail to appear, they can issue a warrant for your arrest. Do you understand that consequence if you don't show up for court?
Yes, ma'am.
You're all done for today.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm gonna take the silver trays. What's
Hi, sir. Tell me your name.
Aaron Walker Middle.
Judge?
Mr. Walker, you're here today on charges of a narcotic drug possession and possession of a weapon by a prohibited possessor and drug paraphernalia. We also have a Tucson City Court case we need to talk about. For the felony charges, you do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You do have the right to an attorney. We're going to appoint the legal defender's office to represent you today. And you do have an attorney from the public defender's office on Teams who will be representing you for these proceedings. We're here to talk about your conditions of release. I've had a chance to review information provided by pretrial services and also from the state's attorney. Looks like the state is asking for a $7,500 cash or secured bond. Mr. Poston, did you want to be heard further?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Miller?
Just briefly, Your Honor, it appears that this prior armed robbery that Mr. Walker had been convicted of occurred back in 2006. I'm not aware of his criminal history since then. I would just note that that is a significant amount of time in the past. Mr. Walker appears to have been cooperative with officers, and in terms of the drugs that were allegedly in his possession, it's clearly a personal possession amount, only 35 pills. For those reasons, I think a significantly lower bond or perhaps release to pretrial services would be warranted.
I am going to impose a $5,000 cash or secured bond amount on this case today. If you post that bond, Mr. Walker, then you'd be released to pretrial services. You are going to have to participate in any monitoring or treatment they direct. You're not allowed to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, and you can't have any firearms. Do you understand those conditions of release?
Yes, ma'am, I have a job for tonight, but I'm gonna be able to make it because I have a bond, right?
You have yes, it's the $5,000. It's a cash or secured bond. So if you're able to post a portion of that and work with a bond company or someone posts it for you, you could be released. Otherwise, you will still be in custody. Your next hearing date is going to be October 6th at 1:30. That is the preliminary hearing. That hearing may or may not occur, but you are expected to show up at all future hearings. And if you fail to appear, a warrant could issue for your arrest. Do you understand those consequences if you don't show up for court? We're also here to talk about a Tucson City Court case. It looks like there's a warrant for your arrest involving drug paraphernalia charges and possession of prescription drugs. You do have the right to remain silent on that one as well. I am going to release you on that case, Mr. Walker, so that one will not be holding you if you post your bond on the felony case. You are not allowed to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs for that matter. We're going to give you a court date at Tucson City Court of October 22nd at 9 a.m. That's going to be in front of Judge Verena. You do have to appear at that date and time or they could issue another warrant for your arrest. Do you understand all of that in your city court case?
It's Judge.
All right, you're all done for today, Mr. Walker.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful